listening to the Pelicans postgame report on the PRO Media Network for all things Pelicans.
Perfect. Fly Pelican, fly Pelican, fly Pelican. And I tell them that. Fly down, I'm a Pelican forever. Yeah, ain't gon' lie, I feel flyer than I ever been. We stay ballin', this New Orleans, I'm a Pelican. It's going down in the nest, wild, wild west. Come in town and you best, show us some respect. 3-point threat, I better make it rain. If it's something, don't jump stupid like your ankle sprain. Always said, never hate the player, hate the game. Jumper where the dang late, bunch of train. Post game, big Q, talking about business. Bird gang, YouTube, they ain't flocking with us. Lock up the division mission, get into the finals. Finish competition, then it's going win the title. I know this flyer than you can get. Such a threat that the ref just might call a tag. You could double, you could press, but you can't check. Right, left, slide by you like a Eurostep. Fly Pelican, fly Pelican, fly Pelican. And I tell them that birds of a feather flock together. Fly down, I'm a Pelican forever, Pelican forever. And never, and never, and never, and never, and never, and never say birds of a feather flock together. Yeah, fly down, I'm a Pelican forever.
Both ways to start, just kind of with the end. I think finishing on a 17-3 run. Just what did you see there at the end?
I saw, a resilient team, a team that's making steps in the right direction. We've been right there. We've talked about this. Clutch wins are important. We've been spending time on it. The guys understand the moment. I think having Herb in these moments is massive for us on both sides of the ball to settle us. But Sadiq was great. Big shot out of the timeout. Settled us. We're down 5. We called timeout, settled us with a call to Sadiq, comes up with a big play. Then the defense brought us home, to hold them to 3 points in that stretch. This was a defensive win tonight. Murph came up big with some big shots. Z participated in that, getting to the rim. They were sending Wemby every possession to him. They were sending 2. He made the right play, got to the rim, kicked out, but Murph with 2 big shots, to put us over the top. And sometimes it just takes that. But what I'm most proud of is the defense down the stretch, that we've been able to find some rhythm here defensively. Same thing last game, against Memphis, that it was our defense that brought us home.
What helped? I mean, you mentioned Sadiq hitting that 3, but composure-wise, seemed like things were maybe tipping the other way toward the end of that run that San Antonio was making. What helped kind of calm the entire team down?
Yeah, I think there was a collective poise from the staff to the players. It was a 2-possession game. We'd been here before. We just watched the clutch game on film this morning. It wasn't our team. It was another team. We talked about staying poised in these moments. It's only a 2-possession game. They have momentum, but it's about the next possession. One possession led to another. But I would say there was just a collective poise from everybody in that huddle saying, we're fine, we're okay. It's about that next possession. So that's growth for our group.
Job that Eve did off the bench, obviously. I think him, Carlo, and DQ all foul troubles, I think, at different moments tonight. But to be able to come through and have 2 big moments or plays on both ends, the block on one end, he gets a dunk, obviously, just Eve and just what he was able to do.
Yeah, he's phenomenal again down the stretch in all game. He anchors our defense. He comes in and turns us, the game a number of times defensively, rim protection, rebounding. I think we had 3 guys in double figures rebounding tonight. He had 14. Impacted that game, and for him to finish that game with a thunderous dunk, he deserved that. I love his confidence right now, his energy, his spirit. He's driving a lot of what we're trying to do right now. So, couldn't be more proud of him, and he deserved that moment. And not only that, is he hit the 2 big free throws. Yeah. In the fourth quarter, in these clutch moments, he stepped up, made free throws, got stops, big rebounds, and then obviously the dunk to finish it.
We talked a lot about the math game and how you have to win certain things. Plus 21 in field goal attempts, second chance points in the paint, things like that. Just how big was the offensive glass tonight overall? I mean, you mentioned 3 guys in double figures.
Yeah. We talked about winning the possession game tonight. I thought that's where it would be won for us if we could turn them over and keep our turnovers down and then obviously win the board. We were crashing tonight, second chance opportunities, just great effort tonight on both sides of the ball. But the turnovers being low was massive, and then obviously crashing the boards, kicking out. sometimes you have a layup after a rebound, but if not, spray it out for another wide open shot. And I think the guys did that.
Back-to-back double-doubles. Activity has been everywhere, but it seemed like he was even more aggressive when he had those one-on-one matchups with Wemby, kind of, taking it to the rim tonight.
And that was Z tonight. I mean, this is Z. He's playing at an extremely high level. He's available. He's healthy. He cares. He's driving what we're trying to do here. He's showing up every day. That's what I'm most proud of. And make or miss, win or lose, I love that kid, and he's bringing his best to us. That's what I'm most proud of. He's bringing his best to our program right now, and that's what I'm most concerned about. And then, we felt his spirit all night, just the energy downhill, making plays at the rim, kicking to teammates, and then big defensive rebounds, right? He did this in Memphis, and he did it again tonight. And, that's his next step, but I'm extremely proud of him. Thank you.
Tune into the Pelican post-game report. Much love to the fam. Appreciate y'all being in this episode of PPR. We up in the building. Big QDC, man. The recap, Pels, Soar past Spurs 104-95 to get the W. Pelicans 2-game winning streak. They improved to 12-36. They stopped the Spurs domination of the Pelicans this regular season by finishing out 1-3 against them here. But the biggest part of it is how the Pelicans played this game. The statistics off the chain, man. You're going to talk about them on the offensive rebounding side of things, the rebounding game, the heart, the soul, how they played in the back end, refusing to let go of the game. When you seen the Spurs have that massive run, the Pelicans responded by having a run of their own and then ultimately playing defense, making rebounds, and closing out in the just complete and total professional fashion against the Spurs. And this was a nice win because these are 2 road wins that the Pelicans happen to have. And the Spurs are a very good home team. So credit to the Pelicans putting it all together against a difficult Spur team, man. With all their guys there, the Pels were able to go into San Antonio and knock off the Spurs. I mean, that is big, man. That is really big. So shout out to you guys. Appreciate you. Hit the like button, hit the sub button, and by all means, feel free to share the show on your social media feed. DC, what's happening tonight, man?
Shit, a lot is happening, man. The Pelicans done won 2 games, and I'm back.
So, your ass been hiding from the with the losses going on. I know what you've been doing.
Oh man, I was getting ready for the winter storm.
Oh, there you go. That's a good one. That's a good one.
Winter is coming. That's what the Pelicans telling everybody.
Uh-oh. We lost your mic, DC. We lost your mic, buddy. But yeah, this was big, man, for the Pelicans, man, and great fashion, bro.
Yeah, you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now, bro. Go ahead.
Yo.
Yeah, I'm here. I can hear you. Go ahead. Go ahead, bro. I can hear you. Uh-oh. Something must have happened. He got DC in the building with his baby. She must have hit a button on him. All right, so anyway, shout out to you guys. Y'all, if y'all can hear me, put 1 in the chat, fam. Put 1 in the chat. We're gonna do a mic check. If you guys can hear me, I know DC got his baby. She might have hit a button on him or something. All right, but anyway, man, like I said, this is fantastic, man. I mean, I thought they appreciate you guys. Shout out to Kai the Great, Pelicans, Nola, Slim, Jaden, Maul and Maul. Big ups to your fam. I see you in the building as well, man. Young City, Mickey, I see you, bro. Who else we got? Yeah, Young Illuminati. Big ups to your brother Lavelle, Big Sean, who we knocked down. And like I said, the Spurs, man, respect. J. Cobb, shout out to you, man, as well. Big ups. Like I said, fam, this was an awesome game. What's up, Benny? Shout out to Benny. Man, this was an awesome game, right? In the first quarter, first half rather, Pelicans was handling the business, held the Spurs down to 19 points in that second, went into halftime feeling pretty good. came out and actually maintained the lead. Spurs kind of picked it up. And then when the fourth quarter kicked in, that's when I was like, okay, let's see with the fourth quarter on us. Let's see with the Pelicans if they can create good habits here and learn from past mistakes, like the mistakes of the 36 odd games that we've lost at this point, what we need to do as a unit, right? To kind of get this stuff together. So, man, and I ain't gonna lie, y'all know it, man. I was a little nervous. I'm gonna be honest. I was more than nervous when they lost the lead. The Spurs didn't gain ground on them, and I was like, "Oh man, come on, man!" But then they took it back and kept it. So I mean, it was this was something that I got all the respect in the world for, and that's what I talked about on the other stream last night or the night before last, rather 2 nights ago, whatever it was. These games run together sometimes for me. But we talked about in that preview the reality of what they have to do their best to kind of limit the second chance shots, getting offensive rebounds. The Pelicans collected almost 20 of them tonight, right? Because that helps out. And just closing out on defense. And then when we get into the fourth quarter, not turning the ball over in a point where we killing ourselves. No, what we did was we were smart, we were poised in the right moments. Herb Jones, he had the same calming effect on the Pelicans the previous matchup that he had in this matchup. Jose Alvarado returns to help settle things down for the Pelicans. And like I said, they're healthy now. The only one person they're missing, and that's DeJounte Murray, and I don't think he'll have any effect on the Pelicans. We won't probably even see him until March sometime. If anything, I don't know what's going on with him. But the bottom line is the Pelicans had all their pieces, and they had the right temperament and mentality. They didn't care whether it was an away or home game. They want to win. They're tired of losing. Hell, we tired of watching them lose. But like I said, it was credit to them because we've seen so much this offseason. This team functioned poorly like this. Hold on just a second, fam. Just a second here. Hold on. Just a second here. Hold on. All right. Hold on. DC, is that you, sir?
I can't hear anything, bro.
Okay. Just drop out and drop back in, my brother. That might reset your stuff. I'm going to reset your stuff. All right. All right. That's Mr. DC. He going to pop out, pop back in with the. But yeah, it was cool. Yeah. Bad shooting, missed free throws, bad rebounding. Yeah. Yeah. I know Stephanie said she was nervous. Hey, man, I was nervous too, Steph. All I could tell you is, when you talk about, yeah, there you go, DC. I can hear you now. Sean, now there was some curious calls in this game too. Let's be real. There were some curious calls, especially in the fourth quarter. But boy, let me tell you something. God don't like ugly. Them guys went to the foul line. They were missing. There was an uncharacteristic misses by the Spurs during in that fourth quarter on the free throw line. They could not capitalize on what the refs was attempting to do. Those are really curious calls, but I credit to the Pelicans for holding on. You seen DQ lose his temper in the game. He got, he went to the sideline, got hit with a technical. Trey was upset about a call that had happened. So a lot of stuff was going on in the game. Like your boy Foxy jumps back into right into Trey, and Trey was upset. Hey man, y'all not supposed to be calling that. But in the end, the Pelicans did not lose their cool as a collective, and they closed the game. Big win over the Spurs. DC, you back? Go ahead, brother.
Yeah, I'm back, man. You can hear me good, right?
Yeah, yes, sir. I can hear you perfect.
Yeah, man. The Pels, they look like they done discovered something with playing the rookies less minutes together and just leaning in and not having a point guard, man, letting her kind of take the ball up sometimes. Sometimes it might be Z. See Trey do it every once in a while, and Derek Queen. They're just operating well. To say they don't have a point guard, I think that's been a big thing these last two games. But specifically tonight, this was a rough one, man. They got into that mode of losing momentum, had a nice third quarter, and then they kind of ended it a little weird, and then opened up that fourth quarter, man, just horribly. I think it was like 24-5 at one point during the fourth. And the old Pels, man, or let's just say earlier in the season, they would have just hung their heads and, packed it on in, man, and just fumbled and bumbled through the fort and lost this game. There was a period where they couldn't buy a shot. The Spurs kept good looks and couldn't buy a shot. And it's like they refused to hit any points until the Spurs started the game at like 87, I believe. And then the Spurs went and took a 6 or 7 point lead. And, normally during the season, that would have been the end of this. This has been over. Now, man, they locked in defensively. They stopped all that damn complaining after Derek Queen got that tech. The refs were, they were shafting them a bit, man. They had at least 3 or 4 calls that were just like atrocious. The offensive foul, you had Yves on that putback where it wasn't a putback. He got the ball right under the rim, dude hit his hand, and Derek Queen call. It was a little crazy. And they went and they just dug in, man, and found a way to win the game, bro. They didn't choke it away. They let the ball move. I like how they had Trey tonight with a lot of off-ball action, man. He's getting just a lot better. Because the old Trey, he was cold tonight, man. I think he was like 7 for 22 or something tonight. But he kept shooting. Man. His confidence didn't wane. He got good looks. He put it up, and he hit some big shots for us to be able to take the lead, man. And he was out there dishing them dimes, too. And Zion was just all over the place, man, getting blocks, playing good defense, rebounding, got you some dimes, and he was downhill. Wemby couldn't do nothing with him. They had to put Wemby on the help side to be able to try to affect Zion. That's the only thing that worked. When Wemby was on and one-on-one, it was barbecue chicken. Couldn't do nothing with him, man. Wemby did grab 16 boards, though. That's crazy. And you had Sadiq out there doing the same thing he do, man. I thought he had a solid game, and shit, with him not out there in the fourth quarter, man, things was getting bleak. The threat of him scoring in the fourth, because I think he only took like 3 shots in the fourth, if I'm not mistaken. I think man got to the free throw line once or twice, but he had a phenomenal game, in my opinion, just from what he did last game, carry this over and still be solid tonight, not be burnt out. Helped us get the victory. And then, Yves, man, what can I say? Yves playing like he either want to get traded or he don't want to get traded, because he was just out there balling, man. Offensively, sometimes he pisses me off, but just defensively, man, it's just undeniable the impact that he's making and what he's doing, man. 11 rebounds at halftime, and he's altering shots, let alone not just blocking them, but Yves is starting to command some respect in that paint, man. They don't just be want to put it up around him, man. He be changing some shots and stuff too. So, a combination of all those guys, man, I think got us the dub. But it's a little teed off with James Borrego. Like, we had a 20-point lead, man. We just let that shit evaporate without changing stuff too much. It just seemed incredibly kind of stupid to me. I wish he would have called timeouts earlier and tried to switch the lineup up before the score just evaporated like that. You let San Antonio go on like was it like 11 or 15-0 run or something in the fourth? I don't remember exactly, but we definitely made this harder than it had to be. But it's almost like the Pels wanted to go down to the wire, man, so they could work on being able to close games, in the clutch, because that's usually something we can't do, but we were able to do it tonight.
Yeah, I was like I said, shout out to Jessica as well. Big ups to you guys, man. Y'all hit that like
Appreciate
button, man.
everybody in the chat, man. Good
Pels
tonight, man.
That's right. Pels victorious, man, tonight. It was some nervousness going on. I'm not gonna lie. All the Pale faithful knew it because we almost seen this replay before. But the Pelicans had a flip in the script for us tonight. They said, "Hey, Lon, watch this. Full covered. Everybody was available. The right mentality." DQ did lose his temper, but ultimately, that's gonna happen. He's a rook. He got to learn. But guess what? Guess what the vet did? That was DeAndre Jordan. He slapped DeAndre Jordan's hand away when DeAndre started to talk to him, but DeAndre stayed right there and coached him up. And what he did, calm down and set down. So yeah, he had that respect. He was like, "Hey, hold on, man. You trying to hurt the team? This sort of thing." He got them together. That's a rook. He learned it from the veteran. That's why DeAndre Jordan should not only remain on that bench role. He's valuable, but ultimately, when his time is up with in terms of playing, I would love to have him here as a coach, man, as a big man coach. Bro, he had that proper temperament. But shout out to Jan. Said PPR been coming through, win or lose. Number one independent Pels podcast. Shout out to the flocking nation. Shout out to you, man. Appreciate that, brother.
Nobody gets hurt. Take the money out. All of it. Come on. You're wasting my time now. Come on. Come on. Stop.
And shout out to the fam, man, because it's been a tough road here. I ain't gonna lie to y'all, man. It's been a tough road, man. 12-36, man. It's been tough getting here, man. Thank you, Jan. Appreciate that compliment, man. We got it in here, man. We've been just fighting on through, man. These shows ain't easy, man. Y'all hear me on some of these stuff, man. I'll be pissed off, man, doing these shows, bro. But I refuse to relent. We diehards through and through. We're gonna do what we're supposed to do. We're gonna be consistent. We're gonna keep it real. Even when the team that we love to support doesn't do that, we're going to set the example. We're going to set the bar. But let's hit these stats, and then we'll go into kind of a deeper breakdown on PPR. Y'all hit that like button. We up in this thing. 41. The Pelicans had 102 attempts in San Antonio. 41 of 102 attempts. Wow, they shot 40%. Spurs 32 of 81 for 40%. The Pelicans had only 9 3-pointers, 9 of 34 for 26%. The Spurs were 12 of 44 for 27%. Pelicans went to the foul line 17 times, converted 13 for 76%. The Spurs got 32 attempts, some home cooking going on there, but they only were able to convert 19 of 32 for 59%. That's what kicked them in their backside. They missed too many free throws. Rebounds, also, that's a part of the reason. But fam, the rebounds, Pelicans had almost 60 rebounds tonight. 58-46, 19 offensive rebounds by the Pelicans, cleaning the offensive glass. The assist game, 23-22 Pels. The assist game, 23-22. The steal game, 3-2 Pels. And the blocks was 5 apiece. The Pels, 10 turnovers. We've been seeing the Pelicans suppress those turnovers, trying to keep those turnovers, not make as many mistakes, turning the ball over. And that really helps in road games like this when we hit our free throws. We don't turn the ball over. We get those offensive boards, and we do what we're supposed to do in the clutch moments of the game. That'll increase that win total. Giving up 14 points off of 10 turnovers. The Spurs giving up a point per turnover, 12 turnovers, 12 points given up. The fast break game was the Spurs 16-2, but the Pelicans dominated in points in paint 56-32 in the matchup. And like we said, man, it's just been a really excellent affair. Then we go to the individual side of things, fam. The top scorers, 2 guys. Zion Williamson had 24 points in 33 minutes, 10 of 18 from the field. He was 4 of 5 from the foul line. He had 8 rebounds. 11 rebounds the other night? I want to say, y'all remind me in the chat, he had 11 rebounds the other night and 10 tonight. That it was just special with
it was 11.
11 rebounds the other night, 10 tonight. Zion doubling it up with the rebounds, doing work on both sides of the floor is really popping for Zion, elevating that game. He throwing 4 assists, even had a block in the game for the Pels. And he had 4 offensive rebounds to go along with that, and he was plus 17. And if you take a look at what the Pelicans, all of their starters was plus in this matchup. Sadiq Bey, man, what could we say about Sadiq, man? 24 points, 33 minutes. He was 3 of 7 from downtown, 7 of 5 from the field. He had 7 of 9 from the free throw, and he also had a double day. 24 and 10 for him with 4 assists, no turnovers, right? Zion had 1. So these guys are playing high level of ball, plus 22 on his. 17 from Trigger, Trey Murphy in 38 minutes, 7 of 22 from the field, 3 3-pointers from downtown, 9 assists. Trey almost got a double-double as well, 9 assists, 6 rebounds For Trey, he was plus 13. Herb Jones, 9 points and 28 minutes. Remember, Herb didn't score any points the other game because he was out there doing his thing, facilitating, playing defense, all this kind of stuff. 9 points. He was 4 of 10 from the field. He did get a 3-pointer tonight, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 blocks. Herb was doing this thing. He was plus 21 in the matchup. Derek Queen, even though he only scored 4 points, he had 17 minutes out there, 4 rebounds. He had 4 turnovers. He was out there trying to do his thing. You see, he was kind of off in this game, but was kind of helping out right there, plus 3. Kind of frustrated in this matchup, but we should see improvement from DQ like we always do. Off the bench, Eves had 30 minutes and 10 points, 4 of 11 from the field. He was perfect from the foul line, 2 of 2. Eves finished with 10 points and 14 rebounds, and making it difficult for Joe Dumars to think about trading this man if he elevating and playing like this on a night-to-night basis. 2 assists, 2 blocks and a steal, plus 9 for Eves off the bench. Jose Alvarado in his return, 13 minutes, he had 6 points. That's 2 3-pointers for Jose. He had 5 rebounds, 1 dish in the matchup as well. 8 from Jeremiah Fears in 16 minutes, 4 of 9 from the field. Couldn't hit a 3-pointer, but he did have 3 rebounds and a couple of turnovers he did have as well. So, and Carlo in 12 minutes had 2 points in the board coming up off the bench. And Peavy, not so much to talk about with him. No scoring. He was 0 for 4 from the field, 0 for 3. Couldn't buy anything, but he did come in there and get a couple of rebounds and a steal to help the Pelicans. On the other side of it with the Spurs, their guy, you know who their guy was, but a lot of these guys just didn't meet their averages. Like Victor Wembanyama, 16 points and 16 boards, 4 blocks for Wemby. Very normal day for him, knowing how he plays. 13 from Champagne, 12 from De'Aaron Fox in the matchup, 15 off the bench from Keldon Johnson for them, and 13 from Devin Vassell. So you see that. And Paul Harper, he had like 5 points in 17 minutes. So the Pelicans would not allow the Spurs to sweep them. They went in there and knocked them off. And this is positive. So, DC, go ahead. I'm going to let you finish up on that and see if we can swing this momentum toward the OKC Thunder. That's what we got.
I think they can, but I don't know if they're going to get a dub. But we're going to talk about that next. But I thought it was impressive that the Pels, with their defensive woes, they were able to win this game with their defense, basically holding San Antonio like scoreless for 4 minutes, which I ain't going to lie, man, it'd be mind-boggling to me looking at San Antonio. That's why Wemby is a good player, but I don't know if I believe in Wemby like everybody else do, because this dude's like 7'5", man. You out there shooting fucking 3-pointers. I feel like he letting us off the hook. Great for us. I know if I'm coaching Wemby, man, I'm about to put him somewhere on the block or in the post, long ass arms. But nonetheless, we shut all that down. So ain't trying to hype him up, but I don't know, man. I don't think we really got nothing to feel as far as Wemby. But looking at these stats and statistics, man, the one that jumps out to me that you covered was the rebounds, man. It's always that rebound battle, man. Pels 58 to 46 on the boards, and they got 19 offensive rebounds to San Antonio's 10, man. You always want to see that, and that's a big compliment to Yves, because he was putting in work there, man. But a stat that we didn't cover because it's not here listed on what we have, the second chance points, man. Second chance points really was huge this game. I know we can look at the free throws. Obviously, the Spurs missing those free throws, shooting 59% from the free throw line is something you can say also lets us being able to win this game. But 27-9 second chance points, that's huge, man. We won all the hustle stats, and then we outscored them 56-32 points in the paint, man. So shout out to the Pels, man. That's a lot of want to, a lot of physicality, a lot of effort. And, that's what you want to see, especially against a team like the Spurs, that's usually very disciplined. Usually can't count on them missing free throws and all of that stuff tonight. think we just wanted it more tonight. We showed up. The Pels obviously have a little bit more juice with Herb showing up defensively. You heard Borrego talking about giving him more responsibility in the huddles defensively. And it sounded like you starting to say offensively too. Like Herb is basically the leader of the team, let James Borrego tell it. And I don't know if I could disagree with him, man, because guys are showing up. They seem to be more confident as a group. I think Trey Murphy, the shocking thing with me, like I said with him, Trey took 22 shots tonight, man. Like his confidence through the roof. He only made 7 shots, but he took 22. I think that's amazing because old Trey wouldn't have did that. Zion took 18 shots tonight. And this is what you want to see. You know how the shots distributed out. Those two guys have to take the lion's share of our shots if we actually want to win. That's your 2 best players, so they should have the majority of shots, and everybody else kind of figure it out from there. And I thought you saw tremendous confidence from both of those guys, and I don't think it's a coincidence that when Herb was here, it was 7-6. The last 2 games he came back recently, we done won both of them. Y'all could tell me in the chat if Herb didn't play, y'all really think we would have won tonight or the game before that? Because looking at him statistically, as far as his offense, he had 9 points, 4 for 10. He hit a 3-pointer, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, no steals, 2 blocks. Right? It don't seem like a lot when you try to measure what Herb does with the numbers, but man, just look at our defense. Our defense looks almost fixed. Just with Herb being out there is crazy. The night and day difference of this team with Herb Jones playing, man. Just a lot of intangibles, things you can't measure, and it goes to show why some people are like, man, you trade Herb. Some people are like, you bet not trade Herb. You got more people that don't want to trade him, I think, then trade him. And the people who do want to trade him, they're like, shit, we better get at least 2 first because he's a really impactful player, man. But looking at what this team has done since he came back, it's like, man, it gives you something to watch. Like we can watch this and kind of hold our heads, man. We don't got a lot to look forward to this season because, the Pels ain't going to realistically do anything. But watching them play like this, man, it put a smile on your face and give you some pride and be happy that you're a supporter of the Pelicans, man, so they don't just go out there and lay down. And last but not least, Yves Missi, man, 10 points, 14 boards. Shout out to Sadiq too, man. Them 24 points, 24 and 10 out of Sadiq, man. Dude playing out his mind this month. But Yves Missi, man, 10 points, 14 rebounds, 11 rebounds at halftime, man. Just the energy, effort, 2 blocks. Anytime somebody puts something up around Yves, man, I almost feel like he about to send it into the next row. Like I said before, I don't know if this is him showing he wants to be here or he's happy to get traded and trying to up his value. Either way, man, it's impressive, and I hope he keeps going on. I understand the idea of trading Yves and why the Pels are doing it. I know a lot of people are like, nah, they shouldn't trade him. And I'm one of the people who I think we probably should, because I don't think we'll be able to maximize what he is while also trying to bring along Derek Queen and Jeremiah Fitz. Man, we don't develop people good, man. We can't develop no goddamn 4 players at one time. You got Peavy they trying to build up. You're going to have him. You're going to have Fears and Queen. I get it. But I also get the other people, too, who are like, man, y'all see what he did tonight? You bet not trade Yves, man. And I understand that side, too, man. It's just this tough decision of what happened with Yves on this team. But either way, man, I think he's going to be a very, very good player in the future, man. Possible all-star 4 or 5 years down the line. But defensively, man, super impactful. This dude he's a monster on the Bulls, man. Just seeing his improvement there from where he was last year and what he is, man, sky's the limit for Yves. But the offensive game, whew, for that offensive game needed a lot of work. But nonetheless, they're trying to get down on the brother. Awesome game tonight, man. Making impactful plays for us to get the win. When Queen basically got ejected, even though he didn't have to leave because he didn't technically get ejected, he just fouled out. Yves came in there. It's a little rocky, like you said, Q. I saw the nerves from him. He looked a little nervous. Made a few little weird plays, and boy, did he pack it up after that, man. He went and handled his business, man. So shout out to Yves, man. And I think without him, I don't know who we would put in that spot tonight, man. We possibly could have lost the game too if we didn't get what we got from Yves, especially that last 5 minutes. But I mean, he was doing this thing the whole game.
Yeah, he was impressive, man. How he played against Wembanyama. Not only the reboundings, but him playing defense, but also attacking Wemby on the offensive end when he can. He was running the floor, and they did a wonderful. They just did a wonderful job dealing with him. He was up for the challenge. He was not overcome with anxiety or whatever because you're facing a guy like Wembanyama. I mean, he was literally up for the challenge and played really well tonight, man. So credit to them, man, for doing what they did and getting this victory, man. This is a lot of people did not have the Pelicans beating the Spurs in San Antonio. They're on a 2-game winning streak, and we hope. I ain't gonna say hope, but with this momentum, we want to see this carry forward into the next matchup against a very difficult club in OKC. That's right. That's the next one we got, ladies and gentlemen. We have the OKC Thunder up next in OKC. Fam, listen, we've lost 8 games in a row to this team, right? We've lost 8 in a row to this Thunder team. And it's been a very interesting couple of games. And what the Thunder do is they turn you over. You can't make a lot of mistakes against this team. They'll make you pay. They'll turn you over in transition. They shoot the 3 ball well. They're just a complete and total team as defending world champions. They're 37-10, and they are difficult in their own building. They're 20-4 in their own building. So, with that being said, man, they got a few guys that's out coming up for this game. We know that Case and Wallace is a game time decision with a groin issue. AJ Mitchell is supposed to be back on the 27th for this matchup here. So we'll see him and Wallace supposed to be back. Caruso is out with a thigh. He's supposed to be back. So is Hartenstein. All those guys are supposed to return on the 27th. Caruso's out with a thigh. Hartenstein was out with a calf. They're predicted to come back on for the Pelicans. Jalen Williams is out with a hamstring until early February, just to let you know. But the Thunder, man, they're currently on a 2-game losing streak, right? On the 2-game losing streak right now. OKC is they're pretty much 2-3 over the last 5 games. Pelicans are also 2-3. So they're on the 2-game losing streak. Pelicans on the 2-game winning streak. This is going to be interesting going into this matchup if we can sustain and play hard like this. Hey man, 4 teams were able to beat them in OKC, so it's going to be a challenge. And by the way the Pelicans are playing, they seem like they're up for a challenge. So anyway, getting into it, you can see the statistics right here, man. You can see the points, scoring points for OKC and holding you down. They're the number 1 in scoring in the NBA and holding you down as well. So that is 2 things to look at the Pelicans in respect to 21st and 28th. You can see the numbers right there. So got to overcome that. The 3 points made, they're 17th, Pelicans 29th. And that's that. You can look at the free throw percentage. They're second in the NBA in free throw percentage, shooting 82.5% on their free throws when they get to the foul line. 78.6 is the Pels, 15th in the league. The Pelicans they do get the attempts, but 25 a game, which is top 9 in the game. They just don't convert them as much as they're supposed to. Now the assist game, 25.5 by OKC. The Pelicans are almost 25, at 26th ranked. The turnovers, you see this team right here, 12 turnovers a game. That's second in the NBA. Pelicans are almost 15 at 15th ranked. The Pelicans are a top 8 team in steals. The Thunder are a top 3 team in steals. They're also the top 4 in blocks at 6 a game. Pelicans 4.5 at rank 20. Like I said, they've lost 8 games in a row to this team, and we need to turn some stuff around in this matchup about OKC. Man, this is going to be an interesting game. To be honest with you, this is going to be a tough one, man. It's going to be a tough game, but they're going into it with all this stuff. Let me get the other statistics up on screen for some of the family members so they can see what OKC working with. You know who it is. It's SGA, averaging over 32 points a game for them. He's also the top assist man for OKC as well. He's balling. Chet Holmgren is 18 and 8.5 for them in terms of what he's scoring. Williams is out, but averaging 17 a contest, 5 rebounds, almost 6 assists. And then you see Mitchell with 14, Hartenstein 11 and 10 is his average, and the rest of those guys doing their thing. So let's look at the depth chart right here for the family members. See, this is going to be a good matchup right here because the Pelicans are healthy, and I hope Borrego lets them know, man, this team beat the hell out of us. They've been beating us down the last 8 times. They have 8 straight wins. We need to go in here, and you want to talk about challenging a team. SGA, Lou Dort, those guys are there. I told you Williams is out. Jalen Williams is out until early February. Hartenstein's supposed to be back with Chet Holmgren, but Case and Wallace should be back. Caruso should be back. Mitchell should be back for the Pelicans, according to some of the injury lists. Wiggins, Jalen Williams, Kenrick Williams, and a few other guys, Isaiah Joe. They have a nice squad. They're well coached as well. DC, this team only lost 4 games, bro, at home. They have they play extremely well at home. Pelicans 2-game winning streak. Thunder going to be looking to get off the snide, inviting the Pelicans in. Could there be some slippage here by OKC overlooking us because they've been dominating us? Could there be some slippage? How could the Pelicans capture this game, and will they? Let's see what you got.
I think they have a chance, man. OKC coming off losing to the Raptors and the Pacers. The Raptors are obviously a lot formidable than the Pacers, but I think right now it depends on that injury list. If everybody comes back, realistically, I don't think we have a chance in hell, especially after them coming off 2 losses. They're gonna come out with something to prove, but if everybody's still, banged up or all of these guys don't come back, man, I think we have a shot because they're probably going to roll in here thinking, you get some get right medicine from the Pels and just go ahead and get a win. You know what I'm saying? And the way the Pelicans have been playing the last 2 games, I think you kind of catch them by surprise. I'm curious to see the way that they've been playing defense, what that would look like against Shea, especially if Jalen Williams is out and Hartenstein is out. Because at least going off the Pelicans, man, I don't know how much to trust the timeline on when people be coming back that ESPN be having up there. But we know all of these guys ain't going to be back. Some people is coming back. So it's just a matter of who, But Shea, defensively against her, he hasn't really, I don't think, affected him a whole lot. We probably had a game here or there where he played awesome defense on Shea, but just looking at them not starting a point guard, we got all our wings with the length. Defensively, I'm just curious to see what that looks like, man. Can Derek Queen, get off his slide, man, and kind of turn in a formidable game? He's been playing really bad for a while now. Some solid performances mixed in there, but he's obviously ran into that rookie wall. But if he can help somewhat to cancel out Chet and not just completely get dominated in that matchup, man, I think we got a hell of a shot to be able to beat the Oklahoma City Thunder. But are we going to see the Pelicans that we saw tonight in the game prior? oh, we're gonna see something else. But I think long as they're running with this lineup where they're starting her at point guard, it's gonna be something interesting to watch, man. It seems to be a thing that teams, I guess, haven't figured out or really planned for playing the Pelicans right now. So we could possibly go and get OKC off guard. And I say I just step on our limit, say we win, just to say it to make a decision. But I'm really kind of undecided because I think it really depends on availability. Who OKC has available, I think will matter whether we win this game or not.
Yeah, regardless of who they got, DC, if they don't have Hartenstein and Williams, all these guys, like they haven't been, they've, like I said, they're on a 2-game losing streak. I think they'll be on game to try to break that losing streak against the Pelicans, welcome them into OKC. Like I said, only 4 teams beat them there. They're 20-4 in that building, man, to be honest with you. So it's going to be interesting to see how this is all going to work. But like I said, you said you give them the chance. The way they played tonight, if that's 2 straight games that I've seen them play like this, man. Play like this with this gutty, this grit that they have. They refuse to fall over, and then of course getting Herb back. Herb is not just an accident that they're winning these games in a manner as soon as they get Herb back. Like even Borrego said this in the press conference, the press elite, and at the start of the show, he gave Herb credit and talked about how he has a calming influence in the rough moments, putting the ball in Herb's hands, selling things down. Like in the previous game, not this one, but the matchup against the Grizzlies, where Herb had the ball, he was bringing the ball up, he stopped at the 3-point line, faked like he was going to throw it underneath, and then threw it to the corner. And then I forgot, wasn't that Sadiq Bey? I think Sadiq Bey was the player he tossed it to. Sadiq Bey pulled up, knocked down a 3-point shot. So Herb has been one of these guys, not just offensively, but defensively, that's in there kind of telling them what to do and kind of, just overall amping up, just not the IQ of the defense, but also helping out offensively. Like in that previous matchup, he didn't have any points. He had a few points in this game, plus his plus and minus was up too. So it's positive, man. I like what they're doing. Let's see if they can do it again against OKC. So you pick them not to do it, DC. Am I correct there?
No, I said I picked them to win, but
you picking them to win? Okay,
I'm on the fence because I think it depends on availability of OKC, like who suits up. Because obviously, if Jalen Williams suits up and Hartenstein suits up, I don't know if they pull it off. Caruso's just suiting up would be a problem for us. He might come out there and hit 6 threes. But being honest though, like the last 2 games, the Pelicans haven't gave up, that mystery burner guy from the 3-point line, bro.
They haven't turned the ball over a lot either, bro.
I mean, there's something to her being out there, man. They playing smarter basketball. You know, you don't have those dumb mistakes happening on defense as much, and they're not turning the ball over. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's just a combination of we had 2 rookies starting, and you can't. What time in history have you seen 2 rookies in the starting lineup and that team just wins a lot of games? It just really doesn't happen. Maybe 1 rookie right in the starting lineup, but 2, it don't really happen. So I think that's a lot of it. Just Fairs trying to figure it out and Queen trying to figure it out, and they kind of had a ball in their hands a lot for rookies, facing mature, well-seasoned teams. They playing at a different disadvantage. So the fact that we've kind of pivoted to making Jeremiah Fairs come off the bench and giving him something a little more suitable for him that he can handle. And I think his minutes coming off the bench, he looks solid, man. He's still giving you a few of them turnovers you don't like, but I thought he was solid tonight. Defensively, you can see he's improving. And Derek Queen, to me, he's covered by the starters, but he's got to figure some things out, man. I see the stuff with people talked about him not having a motor, and this sometimes he's just way too lackadaisical for me, just too cool, and I need to see more urgency, energy, and effort from Derek Queen. I really think it's that simple, man. But is that something you can coach into him, or he just have to flip a switch and want it? Because we're gonna need him to kind of step it up. You can't keep staying in the rut like this.
Right. Well, I mean, I think he'll learn, man. I ain't really down on him. A lot of people like getting on Queen.
Well, I mean, we was giving him
At
a lot of
times.
praise when he played great. Q. I mean,
Right. Yeah.
we gotta
I
give him
get.
some criticism when he.
No, I ain't saying
Well,
you doing anything wrong. I'm saying that at
well,
times, yeah, he does have some questionable stuff that he does on the court, and that I think ultimately, I think he will learn, man. We forget that it's just some pressure on Derek Queen, man. They gave up a couple of picks for him, and I think ultimately this dude gonna turn into something, outer worldly for us, and we just see just little shines and glimmers and of it in some of these games when you see him put it all together. So boy, man, him and Fear. So these rookies are contributing and helping in some of these wins, to be honest, which even though he didn't have a lot of points tonight, he was out there making some mistakes, but in the end he kind of lost his temper. He wanted more calls than what he actually got. I think that was one of the things that was happening too. He complained several times about him getting hacked underneath on baskets, and he kind of lost his cool toward the back end. But it's just a learning process, though, man. So it is what it is. But anyway, DC calls and said the Pelicans get the win against
hold on,
OKC.
we can't dip yet, man. We gotta cover the trade news and different stuff like that. And
I already covered the trade news. You want to go ahead and get your wording on the
well,
trade?
I'm just saying, people asking, they're asking questions in the comment. They want us to talk about the John Morant trade. You obviously had
Yeah,
Jordan
we did.
Poole not playing tonight.
Right.
And
But go ahead, touch on it.
I think that's very telling of something possibly happening. But also you got Ben Mathurin, to get away from the Josh stuff. I'll talk about that in a second. Ben Mathurin putting up weird posters on his Twitter. I sent it to you, Q. I don't know if you want to pull that up. What I sent you about Ben Mathurin, something about him and Jace.
If you could share it, that'll be helpful, bro. If you can kind of share. I
Let me
know
see
you
if I
got
can
your Twitter
find it.
there somewhere. Because they said something about him that if he don't have their support, he acts kind of shitty. Is that what you were saying? If he don't,
No, this is his actual tweet. It was nothing nobody saying. That's
oh,
his
I thought that
tweet.
was somebody else saying that about him.
Nah, that's him. Hey, man, I'm not
They,
trying
they
to come
better
here
do
with no
some.
goddamn hearsay.
They better do some research
Look,
on
this
that if that's
bit,
the case, man.
unless this not his Twitter account, but this was floating around out there. He said Benedict, the child who is not embraced by the village will burn it down to feel its warmth. And he got Pacers with a fire sign. And then he throws Jace up there with an exclamation point, man. So,
All right.
I mean, us sending Yves Misi over there and somebody else for him and Jace, I mean, that kind of lines up and makes sense. You sending out your big, but you get back a guy in Jace who just torched us the other day, by the way. But he's like
Right.
6'8", 6'9", so you get some length back for getting off of Yves, and you get Ben Mathurin, who's not the most efficient shooter, but he's a pretty good scorer, man. He's gonna give you 18 points a game. I think it would be a improvement over Jordan Poole, and you can only do this deal if you send in Jordan Poole somewhere. So I don't know, or maybe somebody else is trading him. I don't know, but I just thought that was interesting. Ran across that before the show started, and then you also have all your stuff with John Morant. Scoop dropped some stuff today. See if I can find that.
Well, we had
something on Twitter somewhere.
Scoop B had a
didn't-
tweet that he talked
Can you
about it. He
find
did a
that?
whole.
Because I don't see it here. I'm up
He
here
did a
scrolling,
whole.
I don't
Yeah,
see it.
I'll pull it up. I did a whole side report on this for the Pelican faithful who want to check that out. I covered most of all of the everything. I read the complete and total article.
Okay, well, cool.
From,
You know, well, we
no,
can
but
just
just
talk
get
about it then.
no, but go ahead and get your thoughts because I know you want to get your thoughts on it. You know, kind of, kind of talk about it because Scoop B did mention that.
My man Jay Black pretty much outlined it because that's what it was. I don't think they said nothing about top 10 protected.
Yeah,
They said the Pels asked the Pels for a pick, and the Pels said no
no,
in
yeah,
the
that's right.
article, but they were willing to give John Morant for Murray and Poole.
That's
You know
right.
what I'm saying? And I would say if you're getting off of Murray and Poole, I would be cool
That's
with
60
giving them
plus. Yeah,
a protected first round pick, man. I'm definitely not doing it in 2027 though, but if you let me space it out to like 2030 or 29, maybe something like that, then yeah, I think you do that to take a swing on Ja. Because at the worst, maybe you can rehabilitate his career and move him for something else at the worst. Like you really not giving up nothing. I mean, that protected pick, obviously, if the Pels just mess this up and by 2030, like they're still horrible, hey, you got to take your medicine. But um, I've always been, I wanted to get Ja when we drafted Zion. Like I wanted both of them. So I think now, with his trade value being low, I think this is the perfect time to strike. We don't have a lot of leverage here, being the Pelicans. I know we're supposed to go through the traditional rebuild and you tear it down and you trade all your players and you get picks and you. I don't trust the Pelicans to do that shit, and I don't trust them to do it right. So anytime I could get premium talent on this team, man, I say do it. Like I'm not trying to do nothing crazy where you give up 3, 4 first round picks. No, I wouldn't do that. But if you could get Ja for 1 first round pick and get off DeJounte Murray and Jordan Poole, I think you would be stupid not to do it. I can't give him the 2027 pick because this shit could go horribly wrong. We'd be right in the same situation next year that we are right now, a pretty similar one. So I couldn't give up that pick. But anything outside of that, man, I definitely got to consider it. I'm gonna space it out as far as possible. Um, if they would let me, I'll give them a pick in the future when I think I'll be able to have things together. But man, we gotta remember. I know Ja. Since 2022, he's played less games than Zion. So this shit is
that's right.
a huge risk. But if you don't find a way, which I think you can find other ways, to get off DeJounte Murray, I mean, shit, you still got his contract on the books for 2 more years after this year. And you got Jordan Poole on the books for next year. And he obviously either doesn't want to be here, doesn't vibe, something's going on. It's all weird with him. So you got to get him up out of here. And I can't say the Jordan Poole trade was a failure because we got Sadiq Bey out of there. And Sadiq Bey is basically giving us the production that we thought we was getting from Jordan Poole. So, it still wasn't a horrible trade to get off of CJ, but you say Ja as a Pel. I see you slumps out. But I think, man, Ja here, bro, he gonna come here and he gonna have a chip on his shoulder, man. Ja, he's a lot of things, but you cannot tell me he's not a competitor. He's obviously got to get his body together, play smarter. Injury wise, we have to find a plan for him, similar to what they've been able to do with Zion recently to keep him on the floor. Because outside of the off the court stuff, you do have just him constantly getting injured, man. It's almost a similar thing with Zion. You got somebody who's super duper athletic, and it's almost like his body just gets torn down from the wear and tear. He's got some shooting woes this year. But the thing that's the biggest bright spot to me, you will have a real, true floor general point guard. And you ain't had that shit since the last time you had Chris Paul. We have desperately needed a point guard. So I say, man, you go get Ja, man. I ain't gonna say at any cost, but you go get him. You go get him and make it happen. Defensively, he's kind of a liability, but I think it's a little bit overblown. I wouldn't consider Ja just like a straight up cone. Like he gonna play some defense, but you inject him into the lineup we got now, or let's say it don't work right now. Yeah, I forgot about Rondo. I can't disrespect Rondo, but yeah, but Rondo, we had him for 1 year, and he kind of came in for that year. He was doing some stuff, but just that playoff run that that was unreal what Rondo was able to do. But yeah, y'all right. So Rondo and Chris Paul, but we ain't had Rondo for 1 year. We get Ja, we got him locked up for like 3 years. I think his contract goes out. That's why it's so unattractive to teams, because the length of his contract, he still has like 3 years. Maybe it's 2 after this year. Like same thing with Zion, and they don't want to sit on him and keep going through that. But man, you got somebody who you can actually conduct a pick and roll with and maestro that shit. Can you imagine the pick and roll with Ja and Zion? What do they do?
That's must-see basketball.
If we're actually able to create space and get them to space to operate, what do you do with that shit defensively, man? What do you do with it? So I think it's a no-brainer. If you can really pull it off, for what I'm seeing, you would be dumb not to do it.
Bro, if you can, if they're talking about a DeJounte Murray who doesn't want to be here, that's making $30+ million, and a Poole they can't seem to fit. That's $60+ million for 2 guards that are disinterested. Let's just place it like that. For the Pelicans, for Ja Morant. Now, usually I'm not pushing for that, but giving those $60 million in contracts up, and of course, we got whatever we got for this season, and then Poole to be operating on an expired deal for next year. So, and whatever Murray's working with, I don't know exactly what his contract is like. I don't know if it's the same. I have to look it up. Y'all let me know in the chat.
2 years, $59 million, so basically 30 million a year.
Okay, so both of them have 2 years, including this year remaining on their contract.
Got 1 year left, $34 million.
And Murray, after this year?
Murray has 2 years left.
Okay.
I think after this year, Jordan Poole will have 1 year.
That's why they're asking for that extra.
But we would have to take back Kentavious Pope.
I'm good with that. How many years Kentavious
has? He has 1 year, $21 million.
Okay, so there you go.
And Kentavious Pope, man,
he can help.
He would come and he would help our bench. Like,
yeah, he would help.
Productive player. It ain't like he a bum.
No, Kentavious would definitely be a good veteran to have on the bench.
You just when you try to make him a starter, I think that's what shit go wrong for people.
Nah, and spot minutes out there. I like Kentavious Caldwell Pope's come in and play a little defense for you. He can get a basket or 2 off the bench. I think I like his role off of that, but that kind of makes the Pelicans more mature. But yeah, getting those guys out, getting Ja Morant, man, that would add star power to it. But let me ask you this: how would that impact Jeremiah Fears? Wouldn't that'll be directed? That'll kind of be.
They had Jeremiah Fears liking tweets about Ja Morant coming here, so I think it would help. Jeremiah Fears obviously needs a mentor. I think his 3-point shot is gonna come along, and if you could get Ja in here, man, to kind of help his facilitation game and help him finishing at the rim, because that's the 2 things I think you need to do right now with Fears.
I don't know if I would
think
want
it does
Ja
anything
Morant.
but help. You're gonna let him cook with the second unit. You know what I'm saying? All I know is every goddamn backup point guard Ja Morant seems to have, they all look terrific. So at what point do I think maybe he got something to do with that shit? Or you just want to say Memphis is that good at selecting backup point guards? Because when Tyrus left from over there, I thought it wasn't going to be nothing. And who they got over there with is Ty Jerome now? So they all look good.
I know, but I don't know. I got an uneasiness.
You should hang up with Ja Morant. You think he's a cancer or a locker room?
That's what I'm getting.
Immature. Those things.
That's what I'm looking at. I don't want him to come in. I know the guy can play basketball. There's two problems I got with Ja. Number one
Scottie
is
Pippen Jr., that's right. My
his
bad.
his availability is a major issue. Like I said, it says a lot for you if you miss
But
him.
you got
You-
fears. So if he get hurt, so what? We play fears now.
yeah, but I'm saying, DC, we're not bringing him here for that. We're saying we're gonna need this guy to play. This guy missed more games than Zion did. That's saying a lot. And number two, he has not exactly been a player, a role model player for your young point guard to be mentored by. Let's just be honest about it. So that's two things I'm dealing with right there that I'm kind of having reservations about. But I also do like the fact that the Pels or that Poole, they can't find a spot for Poole. They can't. DeJounte Murray does not want to be here anymore, and there seems to be some hesitation there about giving up picks. If it's like you said, picks that's down the line or something like that, that they want to give them up, then that kind of elevates the time frame in terms of the Pelicans competing. It definitely makes them must see TV. But like I said, it sounds good, and but it does have the propensity to go bad, man. And if you don't do this shit right, then this could be a gut punch right here for the Pelicans to bring in a John Morant and can't fit him properly into whatever you're doing. Like I said, I still think Borrego is not the coach. In several months from now, the Pelicans are going to hire another coach.
Mm-hmm.
So if I'm Joe Dumars, I don't know if I'm going to try to make some of these type of moves because it's half-assed, it's incomplete. It's crazy because order for it to work, you got to have the real coach that's going to be here.
I don't think you're looking for it to work this year, Q. I think it's more of a thing. You get Ja right now to set
How many years
yourself
Ja
up
has on his
for
contract?
next year.
How many years he got left? Because this is the thing. This is what I'm saying.
Got some valid points though, man.
But make because this is how
it's a risk, man.
We talking about building the team, building the team correctly. Order to build a team correctly, you got to have an administrator at the top that's working in harmony with the head coach. Borrego is not going to be the head coach of this team when the season ends. When the regular season ends, him and a lot of those coaches, all them coaches, they gone, right? So the next guy comes in, and we want it to be a guy with a resume and a ring. So if that is indeed the case, you're going to need that guy to help you complete this thing because it's hard building a team when the damn coach that you want to take the team anywhere is not here.
That's true.
So I mean that's what I'm looking at. But go ahead, bro.
Ja's contract is it was in 2022, so he's 3 years into it. So it'd be 2 more seasons after this year, 27-28 season. It's up. So
right.
That's why he was asking Memphis, I guess, for that extension. Let me see, extension eligible for 3 years, 178 million extension in the summer. So if you did get him, you can extend him for a 3-year, $178 million extension. That's what you would be looking at. But I'm looking at Ja as it's a risk, man. It's a swing, and I think the combination. If you get in Ja, right, you have obviously decided that you holding on to Zion. Because those two guys kind of grew up together. They played on the same AAU team. I'm sure they have a relationship. And if he is likely coming here, I'm sure it's because they want to play together. So that, to me, the combination of them wanting to play together and you have a clear, I guess, 1A guy and a 1B guy, or you want to say Trey as a 2, or however you want to put that, I think it can be very beneficial, man. But you're absolutely right. You have to nail the coach, whether it be a guy like Malone, you know what I'm saying, or a coach that just fits those two personalities along with Trey Murphy, because without him, I don't think this shit works at all, because Zion drives to the hole. Ja does the same thing. Trey, you probably will want to try to keep Sadiq some type of way, because you need some type of 3-point shooting, and everybody after that is just 3-and-D guys. You know what I'm saying? Possibly you need another defensive big if you do move. I don't see if they do Ja. I don't see them moving Yeeves, at least not right now. But you still need more defense. You're gonna need 3-point shooters, and I think that's something you can do in the off season. But to me, the opportunity to do it is just too much to pass up, man. Knowing this franchise and our inability to be able to acquire talent. Like, how long have we said Rondo was the last time we had a point guard? It was at 2017, 18, and we still haven't gotten a point guard, a starting caliber point guard for that long, man. That's at least league average. We ain't had that in a while. Closest thing we had was Lonzo Ball, and he couldn't stay up. And then we wound up giving him up for nothing, and we could have got Laurie Markin. We fucked that up. We could have got Darius Garland. We fucked that up, right? We had so many chances. We could have had Tyrese Maxey. We fucked that up. So anytime some talent run across with this franchise, man, I think you got to take the swing. It's a hell of a risk, and if you do mess it up, you are right. It is a major setback. But I think there's a reality where you could mess this up and still pivot off, and it really don't hurt anything. Like, if you truly just horrible next year, everybody's hurt, and you trying to get off these guys, I still think you can, and you already got your two youngsters in house that have been soaking up minutes, and you're developing them. I don't know, man. I don't really see a lot of downside to this. Um, that's right. Man, I can't say your fucking name right now. Your name too goddamn long. I think Borrego is going after this year, and the main thing that would make this work would be the coach, because I think with Ja and Zion, I think you need a disciplined coach. You need a more of a disciplinarian, a coach that could get through to them, but somebody they respect. You guys did. Ja is the If Ja ain't got no respect for you, I think that's what happens. And I don't think I think the little stripper incident or whatever he had, that one was weird, overblown. But the other stuff about him pulling up in vans and uh pointing guns at people with lasers on, like, all of that shit is crazy. I don't know the history behind it fully, what happened. That shit is insane. But we also had the same thing with Zion and the BBL girls and all of that. So um looking at these dudes now in their mid-20s, I mean, do you think that Ja is just that mentally set back that he couldn't mature beyond them things? And I think what we seeing on the court with him, I think it's the coach. I don't think he respect the coach. I think he was hurt and probably upset by them firing Taylor Jenkins, which to me was kind of weird. Although that coach they have, he looks to be an intelligent offensive mind. But could that have anything to do with what appears to be his immaturity on the court over there in Memphis? There's just a lot of stuff going on, man. And I think the only way to know for sure, you would have to have some direct contact with Ja, and get down to the bottom of some of those things. But if you can guarantee that the off the court stuff wouldn't be a problem, I think you definitely swing on this. Him not playing, I don't know, man. I think that can be figured out. Even though Ja is injury prone, I think there's a world where he can stay on the court. Maybe you have to be very judicious with his minutes, like they've been with Zion, man, and figure out a plan for him. And what we're seeing going on with Zion, I think, shows you that the Pelicans could possibly be able to do that with somebody else too.
Well, DC, let me tell you something, bro.
Too big of a talent, Q, to just, you almost got to do it, bro. You can't.
Well, the thing is, it's interesting, man, because you're right about the fact that you don't have a lead guard there, and Ja Morant is a special talent, man. I mean, he really is. Um, he averages over 22 points for his career, 4.6 rebounds, and over almost 7.5 assists. In the 20 games he played this year, 19 and a half, 8 assists, 41% shooting from the field. Now his career 3-point shooting, he's a 31.1% shooter for his career, and he shot almost 90% from the foul line. Incredible player. Like I said, that's just a given, man. But the Memphis Grizzlies, some of these players do need a change of environment. It's just, man, it's just, I don't know. I got a hesitation here for whatever reason.
What's the worst thing you could see happening?
I got a hesitation here.
You got a good beat on the cons, man. So how do you see this playing out the worst? And also, what are your thoughts about Jordan Poole not playing at all tonight?
DC not, and he was not on the injury.
Got a trade lined up sometime.
They got a trade lined up for Poole. No doubt about it.
And DeJounte Murray over there making videos about the Seahawks and shit, talk about it, everybody saying he the healthiest he ever been, but he won't come back and play.
No, I think DeJounte Murray is done, man. I'm gonna just be honest with you about that. I think Murray's done. I think he's over with. I think he told Joe Dumas, because Joe Dumas was very adamant about the guys who didn't want to be here, that he had no problem getting you on up out of. He only wanted guys that want to be here and win, and that's not DeJounte Murray. DeJounte Murray was saying stuff about the team, about how he didn't get minutes and all this kind of stuff, and he was basically slamming the Pelicans and pretty much staying away from the Pelicans, and that's fine. If you don't want to be here to contribute to the win, just don't poison the environment. But yeah, Jordan Poole not playing, as well as Jordan Hawkins either. That's another one there. Hawkins didn't play.
They had some pictures, when we beat Memphis, and Trey was over there doing shit towards the end of the game. Ja was on the sideline smiling, watching that shit.
Yeah.
I ain't trying to be conspiracy man or nothing, man, but I did think that was a little weird.
Yeah, it's something going on here, DC, and it's quite obvious when you shut Poole down, because it was a DMP situation that was listed. I went back and looked at it. Why he didn't play? He didn't have an injury. It was a coaching decision, which usually is tied to, they got a trade lined up with Poole. So we'll see. We got some time between now and the 5th of February, but the Pelicans obviously seeing like, hey man, we might not have the financial investment to get guys like a Ja Morant in the free agency market. If we can capture him with two players who we can't seem to get to work right here, that's $60+ million between Poole and Murray. And if they want to throw a later on pick in there, or perhaps to get another team involved, I don't know how this is going to go, but that I can see from that perspective, it's just, I'm very hesitant, DC, because of the aforementioned things. Like Ja Morant missed more games than Zion Williamson. That to me in my head is like, damn. I can't. Could I foresee something? I don't want to.
In the last 3 years, Q, we got.
I hear you, D.
No, he was suspended for like 60 or 70 of those games too.
But I'm saying still he missed. Right. That was because of his own foolishness, which is not eliminated from the equation. If you did that before, what stops you from doing it here? And Memphis, had Bill Street shit. We got one of them too. And I think our area a lot larger than theirs. So whatever going on with Ja Morant and however he's cutting up there, if you're going to bring Ja Morant down here with Zion Williamson, you better make sure that there's an understanding that this is about basketball, that he's going to be something totally else. You got to have that discipline aspect in place, right? For Joe Dumars, right? I can understand that. And then the injury situation, the problems that come with having Ja Morant, like it wasn't just one time or twice. It's always something with Ja Morant. You see what I'm saying? Whether it's him being hurt or him having some type of issue. And we don't need that kind of stuff. What we trying to be. We're trying to get this team to win. We're trying to get them somewhere. We've dealt with a lot of BS already. all we want to do is to have a winning product in which we compete for the playoffs every year and build on that. Will this man help us? To me, it's just I have the hesitant. If I was the general manager of the Pelicans, this is what I'm mulling over in my head, right? But I'm also thinking that I won't probably have enough money to chase a player of his salary on free agency. So if I can lock him in and get a John Morant talent, then that's also a thing. So it's just weighing the two to see if I can make this work or if this can be something successful. And I guess, like I said, sometimes you gotta swing if you're going, if you're gonna try to hit a home run. You can't sit there and bunt at it. If you're gonna try to hit a home run, you gotta swing. So I get it, man. I get it. So Murray, Poole for John Morant and a pick, we we'll see, man. We'll see. Because like I said, it's must see basketball when John Morant and Zion Williamson and all them guys on the floor. Man, that's going to be
I'm going to the games
Pelicans
again,
going to be
dog.
right. The Pelicans are going to be that'll bring so much money to the
That's
region.
why I
You'll
think
see.
it could happen.
I mean, you'll see people that are not Pelicans people become Pelicans people because of the pairing of John Morant and Zion Williamson. It's just star power on another level. And like I said, because they can't get it in free agency, they won't have the ability to get it in free agency. So because you'll be competing with other teams, Miami. If Miami was there, he wants to go there. They don't want him. But if you can get them for those players, then go for it.
Like,
right. And it's a reason why.
I thought it was weird. You know what I'm saying? But yeah,
no,
like
it's
you
not
said,
weird, bro.
Could be a reason
It's
why.
not weird. It's Miami, and they know they got them people and did their due diligence here. They did their due diligence here.
They got a weird
they got a measurement
fascination with Tyler Hero too, because they would have to give up Tyler Hero in the trade, but
they don't. And
they are locked in on Tyler Hero. So I wonder if it's just that, and I can understand that because if they give up Tyler Hero to give Ja, it's like they still, like in the same boat, in my opinion. Not that Ja isn't way better than Tyler Hero, just saying a lack of shooting with what they already have.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of understand it a little bit, but here, man, I think one person could fix everything. Q for us.
Malone.
Nah, NBA YoungBoy, dog. Have NBA YoungBoy.
What? Yeah, you'll see all them guys.
YoungBoy.
Man, you'll see all.
He only stop the violence campaign, bro. I think that they can talk
he got. Well, I mean, he let that reflect in his music as well. But this is the thing, man.
It will be something, man. It will probably be the most entertaining Pelicans team that we've ever had.
Indeed. That will be the most starlit team that we've had. You'll have I don't know if you can call Zion a superstar, but if you have Ja Morant and Zion Williamson playing together on the same team. Now, DC, I don't know. You might have to do the OKC astrological chart to figure out what is his date and all this, because they do that.
I know Ja's a Leo, so technically he would fit with a lot of guys on his team. Leo, we got like a lot of Leo, Geminis, and what is her, man? With Sagittarius, I think. He fits that.
So he fits the chart.
He fits the team for as if you talking about like the astrological chart stuff.
Yeah, the chart. Yeah, the OKC
he fits perfect.
Okay.
He fit better than DeJounte Murray, one of the guys we'll probably be getting off of. So
DC, I'm be honest with you, I think Joe Dumars follows that chart too. I'm gonna be honest with you, man. It ain't no.
That's why look, Yves is a Taurus. What's your boy? Jordan Hawkins is a Taurus, and like they following some astrological. That's all the people who up for trade, don't fit that. They don't, other than Jordan Poole, he's just playing atrocious, and I think he probably wants to leave. Like I think whatever they're doing with him, you probably just can't sell him on him being a backup, and Fears hasn't been playing, amazing all the time. It's like, how am I coming off the bench to a rookie that ain't better than me, probably in his mind, But Jordan Poole, the only one you hear in the trade talks that don't fit that. Let me look up see what Jose is, because I think Jose probably fit that too. But they're trying to send him to New York, man, because we need some second round picks.
Yeah, and like I said, man, I get it, family. I really do. I'm just being a general manager, just kind of weighing the pros and the cons to get why the Pelicans are attempting to get Ja Morant because it puts it
Well,
elevates. I
they're
mean, look,
Aries, so he fits our team, man. Aries, Sagittarius, Gemini, I think Leos, all of them pretty much fit.
so there it is. I mean, we'll see, man. If because like I said, I get it because they won't be able to land them in free agency because you have all those other teams competing with them. But if you got a guy that's an obvious star in a position of need, you just gotta do your due diligence and be disciplined with them. And whoever you get, whatever coach you get, it has to be able to fit with what you're doing. To be honest with you, man, that's the only problem I'm having here because it's like building a team in reverse. Y'all know what I mean? Like usually a general manager or a VP, Joe
Yeah.
Dumars comes in, he starts the year off and gets his coach. That girl stopped him from doing it. Gail stopped him from getting the guy. We had to struggle through with this team through this entire season. Joe Dumars is here now. We're making trades and moves, and I'm saying this guy is not going to be the head coach at the end of the year. So it'll be like you then have to be able to find a coach that'll be able to fit with the personalities of the people you bringing on the team. So if you land a Ja Morant and pull Ja Morant onto the Pelicans team, then you don't want to be able to land a coach that has a temperament that would kind of displace that synergy, that community that you're trying to build with your team. That's the problem I have when you're making these sort of moves, is that you have to have that kind of a futuristic look going forward of what kind of coach you need to have to fit with the team that you're putting together. Because once you start making these moves, some of these pieces are going to kind of be trapped here for a little bit, and and you're going to have to situate around them as opposed to the reverse. So it's kind of weird how this is going on, putting it together like that, because you usually like to start off with a clean slate or a blank canvas, so to speak. You're a painter, you got a blank canvas, as opposed to come along and somebody done paint a damn picture, and now you got a task to repaint over top what they're doing is
Hey,
what
you
I'm
gotta
basically
paint
saying.
over the picture. You can't even get a new canvas. You just gotta
You got to paint on
make
the
the
top of
picture
it.
work.
Exactly. That's my point on it when you building it this way. Because, and you know what?
A
We're
lot
gonna
of
have to
hard.
DC, you're gonna have to get do because you're good at that. Have to go and do some research on some of these coaches that are available and how they fit this team. Because that's also something very important to kind of look at as well. And some of the people like you, what the hell y'all talking about with this astrological stuff? Well, I'm telling y'all,
The
family, that they got
compatibility, man.
it's a
Look at all the
compatibility chart.
teams that have been winning, and I thought it was weird because I didn't find this on my own, but I ran across this guy. I think they call him the Zodiac GM or something on Twitter, and I'm looking and reading this information, and man, showing us the majority of teams that have been winning, they astrologically, far as the team chemistry, the players are compatible. Like if you got players that's like a Pisces, you want a Scorpios with them. You want what's the other ones that are compatible with Pisces, man? I know Scorpio is probably like the best match because people think about astrology. I think from dating, and it ain't got nothing to do with romantic. It's just chemistry. How people vibe with each other. So when you going down these charts, man, and you looking at that, you're like, oh, damn, hold up, Scorpio, Taurus, Virgo, and you look at how they build out the teams, and you be wondering why like certain teams won't trade for certain players, even though they're like really good. Damn, why they ain't make a run it? Because they probably looking at it like it'll mess up the chemistry of the team as far as the personality. Because you can be super talented and you put the wrong talent together and they just don't mesh because they have chemistry issues.
Right.
But when you look at the
Personality
teams that have
slash
been winning, like for instance,
OKC
OKC Thunder,
is a perfect one,
man,
bro.
it is crazy because
Everything matches
everything matches. They're all compatible from the GM, presidents of basketball operations, all the way down to their
to the
roster.
coaches.
I'm like,
Yep.
holy shit.
Them
And they
people
won
on
a
this shit.
championship.
Yep.
And y'all
They
see
on
how
this.
they playing. And we look at him, like, man, OKC good. Yeah, Shay's a really good player. And people look at Jalen Williams, they kid a really good player, and Chet, and then after them three, it's kind of like, okay, they just putting the right pieces together that fit the team. You know what I'm saying? So looking at the Pels, man, I wonder if this is something that they're leaning towards. Maybe this is a Troy Weaver thing. We putting it on Joe. Maybe this is a Troy Weaver thing, right? We would have to go look at. I haven't looked at the old Pistons team to see when Joe won that championship, but I know for him to take a swing on a guy like Chauncey Billups, right, and Rasheed Wallace, Q, I'm telling you, bro, we could very well be traded for John Morant. That's very Joe Dumas type thing to do. If he didn't sit down with him, felt them out, or had some type of way of gathering intel, and he feels like it could work, and he definitely fits the team from a compatibility standpoint. Because when you look at the players that don't fit the team, compatible wise, and I notice this with other teams too. Most of the team will fit, and you might have one player that don't quite fully fit, and it's okay if it's your superstar. Yeah, like one or two players that don't really fit that, but everybody else do. Zion is a Cancer, right? So he fits Taurus, Pisces, Scorpio, all this in Capricorn, which Derek Queen is. But then you got the deeper stuff with all the astrology stuff where you're going into the moon signs and the rising and all of this. Man, them people going deep like that. Like all I know about is the core signs. But this is very well a thing, man. I know it sounds crazy, but if y'all just look into it,
Crazy like a fox.
Go check out the Zodiac GM on Twitter. Just check it out, man. I'd be interested to see what other people think about it because I thought it was stupid. And
I
then
thought it was too.
Into it,
when I started looking at all them teams, bro, all the top
just
teams.
Basketball, it's football too. Like you're looking at the coaches, and I'm like, holy shit.
These people using this a part of it's not the core thing that they use in DC, but it's definitely a major piece in their thought process and assembling talent with these teams. Like I talked about,
teams not trade for players, and you like, why wouldn't they do that trade? They should have got it.
Putting y'all on game tonight, man, about that shit. Y'all look that up. I'm telling you, that's what they doing. OKC is not it was several teams at the top, and a lot of the basketball teams that's using this. It's a lot of these teams that's doing this shit are winning games. I mean, their organization is like winning a lot and they're competing at a high level. You know, if you think about it, it makes sense because some of these personalities would seem to clash. But a lot of these people, especially OKC, man, they've been using that for a very long time and have had a lot of success doing.
Who was over there at OKC, Q?
Your boy over there, what's his name? Oh, you mean who came from there?
Yeah.
You meant that's with us?
Troy Weaver.
That's right. Weaver was there.
Drafted Russell Westbrook was the main person I heard campaigning for him.
That's right. Weaver was. That's true. Troy Weaver was there. It's gonna be interesting, man. But anyway, man. Listen, man. DC. I'm gonna go with you on that, bro. On the OKC game, man. I'm gonna go with you on the call. I'm gonna give it to the Pelicans. To take care of business against OKC. Like I said, we've lost to this team 8 straight times. At some point, you're going to have to stand on business and take care of business against this team, man. And like I said, they're difficult to beat at home, but they're dealing without Jalen Williams. They still have to deal with SGA, and SGA be doing all this stuff where he gets to the foul line a bunch of times because he knows how to draw the fouls. So we have to be on game about that. We have to study the film and have the scout reports to deal with him and be very disciplined and reaching around him and knowing how to pull back, this sort of thing, going up there because they're apt to give them a lot of foul opportunities. And whatever we can draw off them, we got to be able to hit those foul shots and be fundamental. Pelicans have been offensive rebounding. You mentioned the second chance points. We've kept the turnovers down the last couple of games. That's the formula you need to compete with a team like OKC, no doubt about it. Anyway, DC, if you ain't got nothing to say, bro, we're gonna get ready to close the show, right? All right.
Get up out of here, man. Go Pels. Let's see what they do Tuesday, man, and hopefully, everybody stay warm. With this crazy winter weather, man. So, hoping everybody stays safe. Wishing the best, and hopefully the city don't get shut down tomorrow when they reach what they say it's supposed to be 17 degrees or 27 degrees.
Yeah, it's that's true, DC. Shout out to all the family members across the country Y'all guys be safe out here, especially in the southern regions where they're dealing with this really harsh winter weather that's coming in. And so the schools, I got an alert for my son's school that their school will be shut down on Monday, and they'll give us an update later on. But yeah, a lot of places, a lot of people, places are going to be shut down. So y'all guys be safe. Try not to travel out there unless you must, unless it's an emergency. And we'll holler at you on the next one on that one. So much love, peace. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. We'll holler at you on the next one. Peace. Go Pelicans.
You're listening to the Pelicans postgame report on the PRO Media Network for all things Pelicans.
Perfect. Fly Pelican, fly Pelican, fly Pelican. And I tell them that. Fly down, I'm a Pelican forever. Pelican, ain't gon' lie, I feel flyer than I ever been. We stay ballin', this New Orleans, I'm a Pelican. It's going down in the nest, wild, wild west. Come in town and you best, show us some respect. 3-point threat, I better make it rain. If it's up, then don't jump stupid like your ankle sprain. Always said, never hate the player, hate the game. Jumpin' where the dame late, bunch of train. Post game, big Q, talking about business. Bird gang, YouTube, they ain't flocking with us. Lock up the division mission, get into the finals. Finish competition, then it's going win the title. I know this flyer than you can get. Such a threat that the ref just might call a tag. You could double, you could press, but you can't check. Right, left, slide by you like a Eurostep. Fly Pelican, fly Pelican, fly Pelican. And I tell them that birds of a feather flock together. Fly down, I'm a Pelican forever, Pelican forever. And never, and never, and never, and never, and never, and never say birds of a feather flock together. Yeah, fly down, I'm a Pelican forever. Pelican.
Hey, New Orleans! Whether you're catching up on Saints news at Jackson Square, checking Pelicans scores in the Garden District, or staying updated on LSU while grabbing coffee in the French Quarter, there's one place that keeps you connected to everything that matters in our city. From Bourbon Street to the Superdome, from Preservation Hall to the Riverfront, New Orleanians are staying in the know with thehootitdaily.com. Your daily source for Saints, Pelicans, LSU, and all the sports, music, and culture that makes our city special. At work downtown, at a game in the Dome, or just relaxing by the Mississippi, wherever life takes you in the Big Easy, you can stay connected. Because when you're from New Orleans, you don't just live here. You stay in the NO. That's stay in the know. Visit thehootdatdaily.com and never miss what matters most to Who Dat Nation.
Welcome to the Pro Shop, where we create authentic NOLA-inspired clothing for men, women, and children. From Saints jerseys to Pelicans gear, everything's crafted right here in New Orleans. Whether you're shopping the Pro Shop, the Pel Shop, or the Pro Shop Kids, we've got your whole family covered with genuine merchandise that represents our city's spirit. Check for links in the description section below or in the chat.